What's up, gentlemen? This is Rising Phoenix Podcast, the podcast about how to rise up after your divorce. I'm your host, Michael Rhodes. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the show. This is episode 79. This is going to be a solo episode where I discuss the topic of identity. I apologize for the lack of episodes lately. I took a little bit of a break from looking for and scheduling out guests. This summer had me pretty busy and I just needed to take a little bit of a breather. So I apologize and I thank you for your patience. On that note, if you are enjoying the podcast in whatever format you're listening or viewing or whatever, if you could like and subscribe and review and comment and rate and all that kind of good shit. They say that helps other folks see the podcast. I don't know if that's true. I do know that it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside when people give me good feedback. So if you could do that, I would appreciate it. My ego would definitely appreciate it. So let's dive into the topic of identity. When we first begin this process, when papers are served or when she leaves or when we're told that she is done, our world crumbles. It burns down. Whatever kind of description you want to use, who you are is no more. It ceases. And it can be a real struggle to then redefine yourself. Who am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? What is my purpose? I had these plans, this vision of a future. I was going to retire with this person. We were going to raise children together. Whatever that sort of dream or blueprint, if you will, that you had for yourself is gone. It's been crumbled up. It's been burnt down. Again, whatever scenario you want to use. So one of the challenges, maybe the challenge in some way, is to redefine yourself. But it's also an opportunity. It's not just that who I am is no longer clear. It's also I have an opportunity to decide wholly and completely who I'm going to be. And during this process, I think it's really good to challenge the assumptions you have about yourself that the world has placed upon you from your childhood, from your parents that raised you. Maybe you were told, well, you're not very athletic, or you're not really you're shy, or you're introverted, or whatever. I think you have an opportunity to say, fuck that, and challenge some of these things and really discover who you are, to take advantage of the opportunity to take some leaps of faith, if you will, to try new things, to try and really determine who am I? And the best way to answer that, I think, is through actions, through trying, through being curious about who you are now. Because I think for the longest time, especially depending on the length of your marriage, you were shaped by that other person. You know, you didn't go for me. I'll give you an example. I didn't go to Mexican restaurants or even Chinese with her because that's not what she liked. And you know, forget about like trying other things like Thai food or whatever, any kind of other type of ethnic type of food. She wasn't having it. So I started to try Thai food, and I'm like, fuck, this is really good. And so I discovered that I really love that. And there's other things, not just food, but I discovered that once I had a lot of free time, I was like, I'm going to try yoga. Fuck it. And I really, really enjoyed yoga. And there's other things that I'm going to try and to continue to be curious about who I am and to try and redefine who I am. Obviously, doing this podcast has been a huge step in defining who I am. And I encourage you to do things like this. This, for me, yeah, it was scary. It was, I didn't know fuck all about it. Number one, I mean, I knew that he talked and things of that nature, but I had no idea about the technology behind it. I mean, I'm a bit of a techie, but I just didn't know, and it was scary and unknown, and it wasn't part of my identity. This is not what I did, 2.5 years ago, but here I am now, 79 episodes in, listened to in over, I think it's 88 countries or some shit, something just fucking mind-blowingly crazy. But if I wouldn't have been curious, if I wouldn't have been open, if I wouldn't have tried to find about who I am and what do I really want to do with my life, I would have stayed stuck. I would have stayed a lot of things, sad, depressed, angry, bitter, all of these things. I decided at some point, and it was probably due to the Alpha Code. And I'm also going to have some future episodes about my own coaching program, and I will get to that in future episodes. A little bit of a teaser, I suppose. But I decided I didn't want to live with regrets, and that's actually part of who I am, who I've always been. That's why I joined the United States Navy, because at 20 years old, I was long hair, I was drinking, smoking pot, like snorting anything. I had no interest in that kind of a life. Like, that was not my identity. But I remember saying to myself, even at 20 years old, I guess I had a little bit of a quarter life crisis. I said, I don't want to look back and wish I would have. I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to be 80 and go, fuck, I wish I would have joined the Navy. And so I did it. Again, I took a leap of faith, if you want, or I just said, fuck it. I don't want to look back and regret. And I think that same spirit, that same desire applies today. And it's served me very, very, very well. I've made connections and learned things and grown because I said, fuck it. I don't want regrets. I don't want to live and look back when I'm 90 or 80 or what the fuck ever. Whenever hopefully Elon Musk can figure out how to make us live forever. Needs to get on that and fuck all that Twitter nonsense. But I whenever that time comes, whenever I'm laid up somewhere and all I can do is reminisce, I want to think back on how I took this opportunity and grabbed it and seized it and redefined who I am based on what I fucking want, not what anyone else wants. I'm sure that there are people in my sphere that once they saw this probably chuckled or said, oh, that'll last. We're coming up on 2 years, and it's not always comfortable to toot your own horn, but I'm fucking killing it with this thing. The growth has been amazing, and thank you all, by the way. Thank you all for listening and for supporting and commenting and believing in me. I guess really, you wouldn't continue to listen if that weren't the case. So I thank you, but sincerely. But if I hadn't decided, fuck that old identity, who am I going to be? What am I going to do? That's a game changer. Once you can get to that place, and I know it's not easy. We hold on to the past because it's familiar and it's safe. It's what we knew. It's who we were. It's safe. But that's been pulled out from under us. It's been burnt down. Whatever description you want to use, that vision of the future that you had is no more. And we can try to hold on. We'll be unsuccessful. But the way to truly move forward, and there are many aspects to this, there are other things, but identity is such a huge part of it. Because then when you identify in certain ways, you can do certain things. So if you were, for instance, you were an introvert, right? I don't really like public speaking. Let's just say that. And you decide, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to go to Toastmasters and I'm going to go there and try and work on being a public speaker. And turns out you fucking love it. Or maybe you've been told all your life you're not athletic and you say, fuck that. And you hit the gym and you get in shape, and then you start playing. I don't know. I keep hearing about fucking pickleball. I haven't played it, but I hear it's really fucking fun. And then you find this thing that you love, this thing that you become passionate about. And it never would have occurred if you would have stayed stuck where you were, trying to hold on to a past and to a future that is no longer possible. So take that leap of faith. Believe in yourself. There are things that you are good at that you're not even fucking aware of yet. So take this opportunity, embrace it. I know it's hard. I know it hurts. I know that you might not be in a place right now where you're even hearing what the fuck I'm saying because you're so distraught and downtrodden. And if that's the case, then put this sort of on hold. There are other things you can do, but eventually, once you start healing just a little bit, start viewing this as an opportunity to redefine yourself the way that you want, not anyone else, not her, not your parents, your friends, family, you, period. That's all I got. This is just a quick one. I really wanted to speak to this because I was actually at an Alpha Code workshop meeting last night, and there was a new student, and he was talking about he's going through a breakup, and he was talking about how, he doesn't know where to go from here. He had all these plans of, we were going to do this and we were going to do that, and his identity is wrapped up in the we. And it's very normal and very natural. But now the identity has to shift to an I, to a me. So once you make that shift, you can start making great strides in your healing, and not only just healing, but also growing and thriving after this shitty, unwanted present that we've all been given. So that's it. That's all I got. Until next time. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Much love.
Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Thank you to Nick Coyle and Lifer for allowing me to use their song, Born Again, which you're hearing now and at the intro to the podcast. Thank you to Justin Dulahanty and all of my brothers at the Alpha Code. Please visit the website risingphoenixpodcast.com to connect with me and other like-minded men who are looking to thrive and grow after their divorce. And remember to surround yourself with people who add value to your life, who challenge you to be greater than you were yesterday, who sprinkle magic into your existence like you do to theirs. Life is not meant to be done alone. Find your tribe. Take care.